Hey
Hey guys!
guys, I'm Jess,
I'm Keira.
And I'm Tiffany,
and welcome to the Rift Podcast.
where we discuss relevant issues for teens.
Relevant issues for teens. Get it? It's the acronym RIFT.
Hey guys!
Hey guys! Today we have a special kind of episode. We're going to be doing Boba Hour, which is basically the same as a coffee hour. So we're going to be sipping some boba and having some interesting conversation.
Yes, we all have our bobas right now. Jess, I did not see you put in that straw, but it's always a struggle for me.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the exploding boba. That's
Yeah.
happened so many times. So what are you guys drinking today?
I'm drinking a honey oolong milk tea with bubbles.
I am keeping it simple with the milk tea, but at the same time, contrary to many other people, I don't have the actual bubbles. I don't have the tapioca pearls. I get herbal jelly and red bean.
Ooh, so today I have a winter melon tea with bubbles. And actually, unlike Keira, bubbles are an essential part for me.
I feel like they're too chewy. Like when you're having a drink, you want to just sip. You don't want to chew for a long time, and then at the end it just becomes chewing instead of drinking.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but for me that's part of the experience.
It's just what makes this drink different from others. You get the satisfaction of chewing and sipping.
I see. So Jess, do you prefer like teas over the milk tea?
Yeah, I definitely prefer tea because I have a very sensitive stomach. I don't know if I'm one of those people borderline lactose intolerant, but although milk tea tastes so good, it definitely will make my stomach hurt.
Okay.
Oh, I see. I actually have not tried tea with bubbles. If I do drink tea, usually my mom at home, she already has tea leaves, and I just drink simple tea. So I've not tried it with boba. Or bubbles.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know in Taiwan, I would also just get teas. I don't remember. Maybe it just wasn't trendy. It probably was, but I just Taiwan is also known for their bubble tea. But I would get what you have right now, the winter melon, but it's in Chinese. It's called donggua cha, and it's very good. Although I'm
love
surprised
winter melon.
you don't have sugar.
Nice. Yeah,
Does it still taste good?
Yeah, to me it's already really sweet the way that it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I was watching a video about boba in Taiwan, I think even in my Chinese class, and it's so cool. They have different sized bubbles you can put in your tea at some boba shops. And that's just insane. I saw they had large ones, medium ones, and small ones.
That's cool.
I was thinking of making my own bubbles, but it might be too much work.
Oh yeah, I've seen people do that.
Yeah, you just have to get the tapioca starch or something and then heat it up. You roll it, but then you have to work quickly because it solidifies quickly.
I always like the part where they actually cook it. It looks weird, but satisfying.
I think it would be interesting if you were making your own boba, instead of rolling it into little balls, to maybe make it in a different shape, like little triangles or little squares. I don't know if you could, just based on I've never seen the dough, but that would be fun, switch things up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for the summer? I feel like we're so close. We're so close.
It's getting summery.
Mm-hmm.
We still have 2 months left of school, 1.5.
Yeah. Definitely getting there. This morning when I was walking my dog, you could smell that summer smell. There's no way to describe it except for the summer smell. It has a smell. I don't know if it's just me, but it smelled like summer.
Yeah, I think summer kind of started early this year. In spring, it's kind of already really warm, sunny.
Yeah.
This year went by quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Last summer was COVID times, still is COVID times, but...
And my dog's loving the weather. Every single morning, we'll let her outside and she'll just sunbathe. She'll literally go on her back and stretch out like a human and just put her arms and legs out, not caring what anyone thinks of her, and just bathe in the sun for hours.
That sounds very enjoyable.
What's your dog's name?
Scout.
Scout, yeah.
I mean, I don't blame her.
Scout! Because we're reading To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. Oh, but you guys are reading that too?
Yeah. It might be the whole English department, I think.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, my class is reading an abridged version. I feel like I'm getting ripped off because, like, if I'm gonna put my time and effort into, like, analyzing that text, I want it to be the real thing, you know?
I agree. And I feel like To Kill a Mockingbird is not that even long to begin with.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it's mediocre, I would say. It's maybe a little bit on the long spectrum, but I don't think it's too bad. But I think it's because, like, there are sensitive topics in it.
I don't think we got
Definitely.
to. We only are still in the first part of the story, so we haven't met like the different characters that I think are more central to the plot.
Yeah. Definitely for me, like one of the most frustrating things about reading books sometimes is like someone will be like, oh yeah, that's such a great book, and this happens. And like you know it's gonna happen, but there's like such a long and slow build up. I feel like To Kill a Mockingbird is almost like that. I'm about like in the middle of the book. And like everyone, I feel like most people know what's gonna happen in it because it's such like a popular book. But it's like a slow build up, I would say. Like you just, in the beginning, it's just Scout growing up. And then like towards the end is like the real thing, like the Tom Robinson case that really makes
Right.
the story.
Especially when you're in English class and you have to analyze every page, every chapter. You spend like a day on, or 2 days on a chapter.
So fun.
Yeah, I feel like To Kill a Mockingbird is one of those books, like, you can just never stop analyzing it. It's just so detailed.
Right.
There's just so many things you can focus on.
Have you read the whole book before?
No, I haven't. But, like, I'm, like, in the expository area. But I
Okay.
do know about I know about, like, Tom Robinson. He's definitely going to appear later, so.
I also really like, this is getting off topic in a way, but I
We're
don't
not
want to
on
talk.
topic. We were never
Yeah,
on topic.
we were never on topic. I don't want to make this like an ELA lesson, but I really like the symbolism in that book. Like, I don't know how far you guys have gotten, so I don't want to spoil anything, but like there's just like really good symbolism. And like until this book, I pretty much just like been like, ew, symbolism, what's so special about that? But in this book, it's like, it's really good, the symbolism.
Or from what I can tell, there's going to be a mirroring in. We only met Boo Radley, right? And he's a white character, but he's still ostracized, and like he has all of these rumors about him. So it's probably going to be similar to Tom Robinson, right? Although he hasn't come
Yeah.
up yet from where we're reading. But I think that's why they talk about Boo Radley first, and then so you can understand, oh, this is what is happening to Tom Robinson.
This is pretty random, but do you guys prefer to work individually or in groups?
Individually, for sure. Because I feel like, personally, I work at a different pace than others. Like, I would say I work a little bit faster than others in my group. So every time we, like, meet up, like, actually, we're doing, like, a literature circle thing, whereas, not everyone in my class is reading To Kill a Mockingbird. We have the option to choose like a bunch of different books, and then To Kill a Mockingbird is the one my group chose. And like every time we meet, I just feel like my group is very underprepared, and I don't know if they haven't like fully analyzed the book, or like they didn't like read everything thoroughly. I don't know, I just prefer working alone. Like I would say even if they're like at the same pace as me, or like we're all analyzing the same amount of effort, I just feel I find it easier to understand when I just do it by myself, you know?
I think working individually and working as a team, it's hard to generalize, because working as a team to do it well, it's hard. Because you need the right people, and it's not even with the most perfect people you can find. You need to go about it in a right way. Like I think communication is very important, and making sure you're on the same page. Because also, like, you can have a great friend, but they might not be the best person to work with if you're not on, like, you don't have the same work ethic. You don't have, like, it's almost a pet peeves, like if you work at night, if you're working really closely. So it can be a horrible experience working with members, and but it could also be like, if you have something that's really good, it can be better than just you alone.
Yeah, like I definitely feel the thing that Keira was saying about like the different work times, and like I've had so many problems with that. Like I know in particular once last year, for a little bit of story time, there was a group ELA assignment and it was due at 11:59, and someone just needed to complete their part of the assignment, and it was like 10:30 and they hadn't started. And I would say it's something that takes about a couple of hours to complete. It was a pretty extensive assignment, so I just texted them and I was like, hey, can you finish this up? And then they were like, no, I'll finish it up later, I got plenty of time. And I'm like a true type A, like I'm extremely type A, so as you could imagine, that was like that was causing an entire freak out in my brain, especially because I was the one who had to submit it just based on the way the assignment was, so I had to just wait for them. And I didn't want to let the other members of the group down by submitting it late, but I also didn't want to let them down by like submitting it without their work being completed. So like I hate running into those situations, but overall I think it's nice to work with others, and it's definitely a learning experience every time. Like I learned a lot from that situation.
Yeah. You have to, it's hard in a team, but like I know for debate, right, I chose the type for that's team. Me and Kushi, oh yes, it was great.
You guys are the dream team.
Yes, we are kind of the dream team. Because seriously, honestly, like what you were saying, it's important to note that it might not necessarily be always one person right, one person wrong in a team, although it very well can be if someone's like kind of not very communicating well and all that. But like the people that you might be working with, they might be okay with working like later and not really, they might be more chill and relaxed in that way. And for them, it would be good to find a person like them, because sometimes you also don't want someone like right on top of you. You want like that wants you to get something the minute that they want it. So you might want someone more chill, but you also might want someone that keeps everyone accountable. So it's just all different types of people that you need to, and it's hard to tell before you work with them, like what kind of person they are, how they work. So it's hard because usually when you're working with a partner, you have to make a commitment.
Yeah, it definitely, like especially for PF debate, what Keira does, the two-person debate, that's a huge commitment, saying you're gonna like be someone else's partner, because it's definitely really hard to leave them, because then like you're putting them in a really difficult spot, because now they don't have a partner and they might want to still continue doing PF debate. I actually was a former PF debater, but I became LD, and it was really hard for me to do that, because PF just wasn't really it for me. It wasn't a good click, and I struggled with having a partner and just like the whole structure of that form of debate. And I wanted to become LD. I liked topics better. I liked the idea of being an individual, but like my partner was a really nice person, and it was just really hard for me to make that transition. But I think you just need to, like, in situations like that, you need to like think of yourself and while thinking of the other person too, and try to do it in like the nicest way possible. But like you shouldn't forget about your priorities, and you shouldn't be someone's partner just for them. You should try to like compromise, like maybe find them another partner before leaving, or be like, we can both be LD and help each other,
like
something like that.
You can't leave with no shame, just have a little heart. But you have to be honest with yourself and with your partner. Like if the situation, your partnership is not working out, you need to just be like, maybe it's better in your case if you debate it alone.
Yeah. Like my partner was great and all, I just felt like I was making us lose, because we weren't necessarily that great. We were okay, and I felt like I would do much better in LD.
Well, you have been pretty successful, I would say.
Aw, thank you.
But I think like what you guys said is a really good point, and I think it doesn't only apply to debate. I think it applies to everything. Just collaborating and working with others is definitely crucial, that you take into consideration your priorities and your expectations. Obviously you don't want that to like dominate over your group, but I definitely think that's something to heavily consider when
No, that's right. And what you say, expectations, that is what we were missing when we're talking. When you're talking about a team, expectations is like the key word. What do you expect from yourself? What do you expect from your partner? What do you expect that you'll be able to do together?
Yeah.
you need to make that clear, because otherwise it's just like, do you expect that person to be working alone in times you're not meeting? Like, what do you expect? Otherwise you'll just have a lot of miscommunication, a lot of like just tension between a partnership if you don't have that clear.
Yeah, and I think something else that definitely helps, especially in groups of people you might not really enjoy being with, is just breaking down the work and assigning it, because like Keira said, same thing with ooh, that word just slipped my mind. What was the word you were saying? Expectations, yeah, the same thing as expectations. Someone needs to know what they need to do, like by giving them like a specific portion of the work and assignment, like they know what their obligations are, and it's easier kind of than, you don't have to organize a time with them. I mean, it's nice to work together sometimes, but like they know what they have to do, they know what their obligations are, you know what you expect of them. But I also feel like setting expectations is hard in a group. Like, I don't want to give someone else too much work.
Exactly.
But I also don't want to like do it all myself. And it's sometimes really hard for me if someone's not, I know they're not, they don't really produce quality work, you know, or they procrastinate a lot. I mean, it's sometimes hard to just feel like you can do half. Like, as a type A person, I want to just do the entire thing. I want to have control. But like, yeah, I think you just need to like have faith in your partner, because I'm sure if they don't do their work or they do a terrible job, that's on them, and you should definitely talk to your teacher. I'm sure they'll understand if you're like, well, they said they were gonna do this, but they didn't.
Can we talk about how teachers like group people? I feel like it's like, at least my English teacher, I don't know how she groups people, but I feel like it's very random, because like my partners, I've never worked with them, but most of them, I feel like they're kind of how they work and like their work ethic and all that. I feel like it's a little bit different from mine. So do you guys feel like when teachers group you into projects, do you think it's like very random?
There's always dread when there's like a slight sense of dread whenever the teacher's like, oh, we're gonna have a team project. Even if they say, regardless of if it's randomly assigned groups or if you choose, there is still dread, because even if you choose, obviously it's so hard to choose the right partner. Like I was saying, you can have a great friend, but they might not be good for whatever specific project that you're doing, and you can't know what type of person they are without working with them.
Yeah, I mean, I've had teachers assign groups that are like weighted, I would say. Like they put all the hard workers and good students in one group, and like all the people with poor work ethics and not so great grades in one group. I've been in like random groups where like they probably just drew names out of a hat, and I've been in groups that were like pretty evenly matched. And like Keira said, either way, I just like feel like my heart drop when they say groups, even if they say you're choosing or you're like they're choosing, because I feel like choosing yourselves is almost harder sometimes, because you don't want to leave people out.
Yeah.
And there's always that awkward thing when someone's like, hey, can I work with you? But you don't want to work with them.
Oh,
so bad.
Like we can still hang out at the lunch table, but maybe not for this project.
Yeah. I think friendship is like such an important thing in everyone's lives, like compatibility, talking to others, fostering relationships. Like, how do you guys, keep your relationships going? How do you make new friends?
Making new friends, yeah. I think just being open to new ideas, people, and not being shy. I feel like, especially for when you're younger, I feel like I don't think it's exclusive to just young people, actually. Just all in general, people might be hesitant to talk, to go to people, approach people. But I think just being like, hi, and then slowly getting to know each other, and then not, actually, this is like kind of, I was watching a video on how to not have awkward conversations, and what they were saying is that you have to get rid of that filter. Like, we have these sets of filters when we're talking to people. It might be something as simple as, I don't really like her outfit today. Maybe don't say that when you're approaching someone, but sometimes if you're approaching someone, you have a filter of you want to make this impression, a specific impression. You want to, it's just, I feel like getting rid of as many filters as possible without, becoming someone that's incredibly rude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I've heard of that actually. Having that filter, and also, as you said, taking the initiative is like really crucial in making friends. Because think about it, when you create a friendship, it's someone has to have taken the initiative, right? So especially if you are looking to meet more people and expand your social group, taking initiative is definitely really important. And when you take initiative, it's also important to just look at it blindly, just get to know them regardless if they turn out to be a bad person or a good person. And I think that's just the most crucial thing, just being brave and taking the initiative.
I agree, bravery is a huge thing. I used to be very, very shy and scared of meeting new people because I was like, what if they don't want to be my friend? What if they don't like me? What if they're going to talk behind my back and make fun of me? But you need to push those thoughts out of your head, because if they actually did those things, they're a disgusting, worthless person that is not worthy of your friendship. So you can just ignore that. And honestly, most people are pretty open from what I've seen to making friends, and it definitely is hard to take the first step. But sometimes if you want to be someone's friend, you can't just sit there and wait for them to take the first step. I've been in situations like that where I'm I don't know anyone, I'm in a new environment, and I spot someone and they're like, wow, that person's also alone, maybe we'd be friends. And when I was younger, I used to be like, why aren't they saying hi to me? I'm waiting, come say hi to me. But now I know, sometimes you have to take the first step. I agree completely with what you guys were saying about initiative.
Yeah. And when you're approaching someone, it's not a contract to be their best friend for life.
Yeah.
It's just getting to know someone, or just, maybe you won't even ever talk again. But it's just to make the situation more comfortable and stuff.
And worst case scenario, you go up to them and learn that there's someone that you would never want to be your friend.
Yeah.
And then you can just walk away from them. You have that liberty.
Yep.
And also, taking the initiative and then actually making a friend, it's a really satisfying thing, it's like a personal achievement in developing your social group. So
Yeah. And honestly, this is a weird analogy, but I want to bring up dogs. Dogs, when they see another dog, they just no matter who it is, they get so excited and they want to go over and say hi. And I feel we need to be like dogs that.
Oh, to be a dog.
Oh, yes.
Be a dog. Just go say hi to people, have fun, don't always worry about your reputation like that. Because honestly, people think that it's a bad thing to go say hi to people and be friendly, then they're the ones in the wrong. That's a sadistic, messed up.
Humans spend too much time worrying about things that don't matter.
Yes. I think we spend isn't it 98% of our time thinking about ourselves?
Oh, really?
So just think about when you go up to someone else, they're probably thinking about themselves or something related to them. They're not necessarily thinking about you and what's wrong with you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been saying as they grow older, they're in college and all that, some of their regrets were not being able to make not being socially active and hanging out with friends because they were busy studying and getting into college and working on their career. But I think it's definitely important to have a social life regardless of your age. And oh no, a brain fart. Yeah.
Humans are social creatures. I mean, some people prefer to be alone sometimes, and I get that, but you definitely need to have some friends or some family. You need at least one reliable person that you can turn to. And it's perfectly okay if you don't have that right now. It takes forever for some people to find a person like that, but you definitely need a good support group. Life is hard. It's really hard to get through it alone, and there's definitely people out there who would love to be your friend. There are people there who want to be there for you.
Or the best way also, even if you don't have a support system, the best way is to be comfortable with yourself, being in your own body, and getting rid of those insecurities. Because if you're insecure, then you start feeling that you need to depend on other people. You need other people to like you, to hang out with you. But the best is just you're okay, you're strong by yourself. But then when you have friends, that's even better. You have good friends, that's even better. But you also don't need to stay in a relationship, like a friendship that isn't working out for you. If that friend is not treating you nicely, you're still strong by yourself, so you don't have to. You're not like obligated to stay with them.
Yeah, I think a good word to describe is just, be balanced, in terms of what you're comfortable with and your perspective on your relationships, and also, make sure that the other side of the friendship, they're also okay with being your friend or being in any type of relationship with you. So I think just overall, just have balance in life, in like your career, your social life, or anything else.
Alright guys, I think we've had a pretty nice Boba half-hour, I guess. We were gonna go for an hour, but that's
Don't
a
wanna
while
bore
for
you guys.
everyone. We
Yeah.
don't want to bore you with ourselves. Any closing thoughts?
Well,
I just think we had a really good conversation.
Yeah.
about teamwork, I think is the most important one, because you're gonna find yourself in life like working in teams. You're not always gonna be able to work alone. So I think you'll find it's just like you can't understand a lot without the experience. So it's always trying it. Might not work out, or if it works out, you'll always learn something.
I mean, life is always about trying.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So
Definitely.
yeah.
You only live once, so you might as well try. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's
Yes.
enough like deep philosophical stuff for today.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening, guys. We hope to make more content like this in the future, and we're so excited to keep growing and expanding, making podcasts for you guys, blog posts.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you guys in the next one.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.